Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Find Out What's in Pelenta's Forrest. Grab yourself a glass of water or a cup of tea and spend the next few minutes with me. We have a great show lined up for you tonight. But what do I always say? Don't believe everything you hear and check your facts. Do your own research. What that really means is I can hold you accountable for your stupidity, but you can't hold me accountable for mine. Don't you want to know what my butterflies are saying? Yes, you do. Don't you want to know what my butterflies are talking? This is my Forrest. So welcome. Come on in. We have a great show lined up for you today. We are going to be talking about some good stuff. So don't believe everything you hear. Check your facts. Do your own research. This is the long version of the intro. Yes. Ha! Don't you want to know what my butterflies are saying? Yes, you do. Don't you want to know what my butterflies are talking? This is going to be an unforgettable show. Yes. Ha! I got news to share with you. And if you didn't know it, now you will. Hello. All right. Got some great news for you this evening. Cool stuff to talk about. We have Chevy Chase, face transplant, and the transgender man. So we are going to get started with Chevy Chase. Don't know if all of you are familiar with him. I am very familiar with him. I love me some Chevy Chase movies. I just got finished talking about the young man that was on top of an unconscious woman, and alcohol was in play in the whole 9 yards. So, when you have a problem, don't afraid to ask for help. It's very big of you to get help when you have something major going on. Chevy Chase is in rehab, and it says that he's getting a tune-up. That's putting it politely. But Chevy Chase is checked into a rehab facility in Minnesota for treatment for an alcohol problem. Now, Chevy Chase's publicist, Heidi Schaefer, said that Chevy Chase is at a Hazelden Addiction Treatment Center for what she calls a tune-up in his recovery. Now, Chase has had struggles with substance abuse during his entire career. He checked into the Betty Ford Clinic in the 80s for a prescription pill addiction. So, I want to talk about that real quick, because I think I did a show several episodes ago about older adults getting addicted to prescription drugs, and it is a big thing, because you're going about your life, you're working in construction, you're doing in the hospital, whatever you're doing, but then all of a sudden your life changes. You fall and hurt your back, you have back surgery, you have knee surgery, rotator cuff, something happens, all of a sudden you're in pain, you can't move, your life has changed. You take these pills, you're still in pain, then you gain weight, then depression sets in, and here we are with a big fat problem. So if you have good friends, are really hard to come by. Even good acquaintances are hard to come by. So if you're having a problem, please confide in somebody that you can trust, and reach out for help. Reaching out for help does not mean that you're weak. It means that you're very strong and brave, and you had the guts to reach out and ask somebody to help you. People love you, okay? Sometimes people show their actions in different ways, but people love and care about you. So if you need to, find somebody to lean on. It's okay. So anyway, hopefully Chevy Chase will get through this and he'll be back to normal. Moving right along. Remember 11 years ago, we had the lady that had the face transplant? Well, she just passed away. So this headline says, face transplant recipient dies. A French woman who received the world's first partial face transplant has died 11 years after the surgery that set the stage for dozens of other transplants worldwide. Now it says here that the Amiens University Hospital in northern France announced Isabelle Denoir died on Tuesday. And she had a long illness that she's been battling, and it finally took over her. Her family wants to keep everything private, but she was 49. The hospital didn't release any further details, and it wasn't clear if her illness was actually related to the transplant or not. But you would think that after 11 years, you would think in the first 6 months or so, the transplant wouldn't take, if in fact that was the case. But she was severely disfigured by her pet Labrador, and she was given a new nose, chin, and lips in 2005 by doctors. So I don't know how she was injured by the Labrador, if it just attacked her or what, but I'm an animal lover. But I'm sorry, baby, once you turn on me, you are history. You're going to doggy heaven to be with all the other ones. So this article here, I talked about this briefly, but check this out. The headline says, transgender man denied hysterectomy at Mercy SanJuan. Now listen at this. Based on religious grounds, Evan Michael Minton was abruptly denied hysterectomy surgery related to his gender transition at Mercy SanJuan Hospital in Carmichael. Both Minton and his surgeon said they were caught unaware by the hospital's decision. Listen at this story. Tuesday was supposed to be a big day for Evan Michael Minton. The Fair Oaks resident packed his bags for the hospital, said a prayer, and counted down the hours until he would undergo the hysterectomy that would take him one step further into his transition from female to male. Instead, he spent the day on the phone with doctors and lawyers after Mercy SanJuan in Carmichael abruptly canceled his total hysterectomy procedure. And they did this based on religious grounds. The surgery is part of Minton's transition to a fully male body. But it had been scheduled for 3 weeks, but was called off after hospital officials were preparing his administration's work. Now, both Minton and his surgeon, Dr. Lindsay Dawson, said they were caught totally unaware by the hospital's decision. I was a little bit blindsided by it, said Dawson. She's a Sacramento obstetrician, gynecologist, in a private practice who said the majority of her hysterectomies were done at Mercy SanJuan Hospital. And the fact that I'm being discriminated against based on my innate, immutable characteristics, and it's also a hurt because it put everything in flux. Now, the hospital is part of the Dignity Health chain, and they said the procedure goes against its anti-sterilization policies, which are based on ethical and religious directives issued in 2009 by the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops. Bam! Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Let me say this again. Okay? They are calling giving a woman a hysterectomy to transfer the transition into being a man. They're calling that hysterectomy a anti-sterilization. Isn't that a trip? You see how they switch up with these words? It's being called an anti-sterilization. Okay? Now, in a statement, Dignity Health, which, up until, hold on a minute. Dignity Health, up until 2012, was affiliated with the Roman Catholic Church, but they declined to discuss Minton's case, citing privacy laws. You see how they get around stuff with all this little red tape, So in general, it is our practice. Now, this is what the hospital, this is what Dignity Health is saying, okay? They're saying that in general, it is our practice not to provide sterilization services at Dignity Health's Catholic facilities. Now, this is a spokeswoman speaking, Melissa Jew, and in an emailed statement, it stated, sterilization procedures such as hysterectomies or tubal ligations, she said, are permitted by Catholic hospitals only. Listen, only to cure or alleviate a serious pathology. And you wanting to transition from a woman to a man is not a serious pathology. It is not helping a problem that you have. Okay? I'm not being disrespectful. That's what this article here is saying. So a simpler, and they only do the hysterectomy if a simpler treatment is not available. So that's not your first option, okay? Now, in Minton's case, there is a clear medical need for a hysterectomy, according to his surgeon. But gender dysphoria is very clearly a pathology. You see, they're going to get around this. We're breaking and rewriting all the laws. The Constitution's next, and I hope they leave 2, 4, and 5 alone. Shoot. So, it just says here, that dysphoria is a pathology, and it's recognized by the state of health, noting that national obstetrics groups recommend that transitioning transgender patients be put on hormones and provided with appropriate surgeries. So see, here we go again. You have people that are for it, you have people that are against it. But she said that Minton is her first patient seeking a hysterectomy as part of a gender transition case. So Minton, who came out as transgender 6 years ago, has been living as a man ever since. He takes male hormones, and he's already undergone a double mastectomy. And if you don't know what that is, a double mastectomy is when you have both of your breasts completely removed, usually due to cancer. Nowadays, women are doing it that are transitioning to be a man, okay? So he was scheduled to have a phalloplasty, or male organ construction on November 23rd. So see, I'm not going to let this go. So see, now, when she has this total hysterectomy, next step is going to be getting a penis. So, this is crazy. So when you see this woman that's now a man, she's got a penis and a chest and popping muscles and tattoos. How are you going to know? And he's hecka fine. How are you going to know? How you going to know? I'm just saying. But, every setback in the transition process means more time that Minton spends feeling uncomfortable in his body. He said, it makes me feel like I want to crawl out of my skin. It brings me to my knees. It gives me anxiety. It makes me so emotional because I know that I am supposed to be a man. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so, so anyway, Mercy SanJuan, actually Mercy is just one Mercy. I have Mercy Folsom, Mercy SanJuan, Mercy General, so Mercy is getting ready to have a big old fight on their hands because these people that are transgender, that are feeling uncomfortable in their bodies, and they're demanding that they are allowed to be who they truly believe they are, honestly, I really can't say a whole lot about that. I can give you my honest opinion, but the thing is, and when I say I don't understand how they're feeling because I was born a female. I am nowhere near bi-curious or anything. I am 100% pure woman. I cannot imagine waking up one morning, looking in the mirror, and saying to myself, oh my God, I'm not supposed to be a woman. You know, if you start thinking about it in terms of mentality, and you know, that's got to be something really, really hard to deal with. And since I am not in the shoes of a transgender person, I really can't give an objective opinion of how they are feeling because I'm not in their shoes. All I want is for everybody on this stinking gosh dang planet to freaking get along. That's all I want. Everybody just get the heck along and stop worrying about who's transgender, who's gay, who's straight, who's black, who's Mexican, who's Jewish. It doesn't matter. Those things don't matter. They're taught, they're ugly, and they're made up. And it's up to us to get rid of them. So if you want to stand with me, you can stand with me. Because I'm not going to stand over there with the ugly hate. Okay? So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be our show this evening, this afternoon. Go out and love people. Love people and be nice. And also, one last thing, Starbucks is now serving Stevia as a sweetener choice. And you know, Stevia is Mother Nature's real sugar, not the crappy stuff. So, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can go to my website and buy my book. You can buy my book. It's called Angels Passing Through. There you go. And let me tell you something. You never know. You never know the power of spirit and angels. There may be an angel sitting next to you. Don't give up on love. Don't give up on humanity. And don't give up on yourself. I am so very, 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 very grateful for everything. And I am grateful for you too. So, have a fabulous day. And God bless you all. Thank you for watching. Find out what's in Pelenta's forest. And my heart turns to gold.